damn it! Look at it. That sucks. Gonna clean this up a little bit. I just bought it too. Yeah, this is not gonna happen. It's looking a little gnarly in there. My van's my home. I am not about to shove it somewhere and wreck my house. Now, if my van wasn't a two-wheel drive, I might entertain that thought. Or if I had a locking rear differential so I know I could have two wheels of push, yeah, maybe. All right, back through all those puddles. Yeehaw! Oh, should drink some of this coffee. It's really great. We're rocking and rolling through here. Yeehaw! Good times. You guys want to go up there? Yeah, I think not. We're back in the Squamish Valley, and every time I come out here, this place just completely blows my mind. Whoo! Look at that, the fog. I love this stuff. Pure magic out here, baby. Pure magic. Today is gonna be a good day. It is a chilly, chilly day out here today. We are in the Squamish Valley and about to make some breakfast. We got the good old Costco hash browns and eggs. Day in it. It's a good day out here. Look how foggy it is over there. You know, snow on the mountains. It's pretty nice, isn't it? It's pretty nice, isn't it? It's my breakfast, buddy. I burned my eggs. Look at that. Ah, still good. The worst part about cooking, the cleanup. This is why I don't cook very much. I've been a big wuss when it comes to the cold weather this year. I've never been like this. I've never spent more time inside of my van ever in my van life until this year. It's just cold and I don't want to be outside. As I get older, I really start to understand the whole snowbird lifestyle, where when the snow hits, they leave for sunny weather, like AKA Arizona, or people that are traveling to warmer climates. The older I get, the more I'm really starting to understand it. So last year, winter beat me up pretty bad. Mostly inside. Like, I got the winter blues. It was rainy, gloomy, and yucky. This year, it's the cold weather. But last year, I forced myself to get out. This year, I would rather be inside of here watching movies. So I found myself a lot these days, as you guys have noticed watching my current videos lately, I have let the internet suck me in, and it's been extremely enjoyable. So today I forced myself to get out of town. I was like, I have to get away from a Wi-Fi connection and a cell phone reception, or I'm going to spend another day binge watching Grey's Anatomy. I don't know why I'm so into that one right now, but it's like, whatever, I'll just throw one episode up. Just say I'll edit videos for a stack hours. I'm like, I'll just watch one episode of Grey's Anatomy and then we'll start our day. I watch one episode and before you know it, I've had a nap and 3 more episodes get watched, and then I look up and it's dark out. It's been the story of my winter days these days, but it has been extremely enjoyable. I'm normally not the person to sit in my van. I'm a doors wide open. My doors are wide open right now. I'm a doors wide open kind of guy. I've always been, except for this last week's been borderline hermit. Seriously, there's been people that have been like, man, you've been in your van a lot these days. I'm like, I know, it's just my heater's on right now and it's just cozy warm in here. And yes, my doors are wide open and my heater's on. What? What's wrong with that? Cruz is back here behind me. It's super cozy on my butt. The fresh air is just nice. Truth be told, because my doors have been shut so much, it's just nice to get some fresh air circulating in here because it's been a little funky in here. I figured while we're just going to have a simple day now that we're parked here, I just want to talk to you guys about some of the process that I went to at the beginning, because I know our channel's been growing a lot lately, which means tons of new people around here. So I figured a little story time today. Maybe you're into that or not. I bought my van on August 16th, 2017. That day, I took my van out on a 3-day camping trip with my dog. And we went to Tofino, and we slept in the back of the van, and I really kind of got a feel for how big a basic cargo van is. So I got the extended van, so it's got a bit more square footage in here. But when I came home from that trip, I treated my van like a fort. Like felt like such a little kid in my underground parking of my apartment, building out my fort. It was so much fun because it was just sitting there. And after being camping in it, I was like, super curious if you could live in it. So I remember going upstairs and grabbing a black rug and stuff like that I had in my front room, and I stuck it in here, and I'm like, ooh, this looks good. And then I grabbed this funky little curvy little egg shaped sort of chair that I had, brought it down here, plunked it in the corner. I remember sitting here looking towards the back of the van going, okay, this is fun. So I literally just played around and made fort. I brought one of my plants downstairs and stuck it in there, and brought the dog's food dishes and stuck it in there, and just kind of started to like play around. And it was that playing around process that was like, okay, I want to live in this thing. This is so much fun. So I spent a night in the van sleeping on the floor on my rug, and guys, it was just so much fun. So right away, the first thing I decided was I need to build a platform for my bed. So I went upstairs and I grabbed some storage bins that I had with like electrical cables and stuff like that for my DJ service, and I stacked them between my wheel wells in the back, kind of right where my bed is right now. And I lied across those bins, and it hurt because the bins were on, they're the rigid lids, the little ridges in the lids. And I'm lying there, I'm like, okay, I fit widthwise. So that's when I decided that I wanted to build my bed widthwise. So I went down to Home Depot. I got them to cut the wood for me, and I was in my underground parking. You're not allowed to do work in the underground parking. And I'm screwing together this bed frame, and I take the board and I drop the board on top because they made all my cuts. I didn't have to do anything. Drop the board on top, and then I'm like, okay, so I screwed the board to the bases that I built, and we had a bed. And I lied there, and then I was super excited about, oh my gosh, am I really gonna move into this thing? So I pushed the bed to the back of the van, tried to see what it was like being way back there. Being that we're in the extended van, when I put it to the back, it really made the van look super long on the front side of things. So then I pushed my bed forward all the way to the front up here just to kind of see what it felt like. And then I decided that I was going to put my bed exactly where it is now. This is pre me moving into it. I decided I need that little bit of space in the back, and at the time I was still DJing, so I needed space to put gear and stuff like that in the back of the van, and so I always kept that little 1.5 feet or whatever it is, or 2 feet, whatever, in the back as my garage. And then when I decided I was going to move into it, then I really started to play around, because my mountain bike had to fit in here, and I'm trying to start to think, where am I going to put my clothing? So I just started to literally make a fort out of it. Before I decided to actually drop my condo, sell everything, I was already treating my van as a fort. And being a grown man building a fort is super fun. But that's what I found van life to be for me at the beginning, was very much me just kind of being a kid again. And it did. It felt like I was being a kid, doing the adventurous little things without any limits or any boundaries or any rules. I literally felt like I was going back to the bare roots of being a young kid, where you could just be creative without no worries or no boundaries, because this was your safe little fort. I had so much fun at the beginning, and that doesn't change. So just so you guys know, after you've been in the van life now for a while, I've been 3 years now, I'm on year 4. I'm still building my fort. I bought little hooks the other day so I can put them up here so I can make my fort better. It's continually always being like that, except for when I started my van life, I was broke and I had a ton of debt. So I wasn't playing with money. Like, any tiny bit of money I made went to debt, until it was paid off. Now I'm building a van as an adult it's my adult fort with adult money. It's pretty fun. So that's where this summer, like you guys seeing upgrades, like me going, ooh, let's put big chunky rims and tires on here. It's because finally I am out of debt thanks to this van. Thank you. And I'm at the point in my life now where I can make some really serious and fun changes to my van home. And when I was driving out here to this location today, after driving through all those big puddles and up that big bumpy road, it made me realize that everything I have spent on my van this year has changed my van life, has allowed me to have, now that I've lifted my van up a bit with better tires, it's allowed me to get into more muddier areas and feel okay about it. Or to be able to go down to the road that we did, because there were some pretty big divots in the middle that we wouldn't have been able to go down prior to lifting my van. So it's pretty amazing to know that every time I make a change to my fort, my little rolling kid castle, whatever you would call it, my kid castle. Any changes I made to that has made my van life better, has allowed me to go to places that I couldn't go before when I first bought my van. And over the years, with all the money that I've saved without paying rent, has allowed me to turn my bare empty camper van that I lived in for pretty much close to like 8, I think it was in my van for 6 months before I even put insulation in it. And I think still by month 7 or 8 maybe, I think I still had my plastic little cabinets that I got off of Craigslist. It wasn't until about 9-month point in my van is where I started to actually make changes. But it was super fun, that whole process. I will never forget it. My van life and life changed in those times of playing in my fort. That's where I felt like I got a fresh start in life. I think that's where the whole kid-like feeling came in, where I was like, hee, every day. I was like, hee, I still get the hee, I'm living in a fort. Or you get up in the morning, open up your doors, and you see this view. You're like, from my fort, the fort that I built in my underground, or started to build anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share that little beginning story with you guys because it was seriously like building a fort. And I highly recommend that to absolutely anybody getting into van life is slow down, take your time, build a fort. Don't build big things. Don't build big cabinets at the beginning. Don't do it. Play around with some simple little stuff. Be a kid, hang a blanket for your blackout curtain and go to Craigslist and find some free cabinets or something like that and get your bungee cord them in like I did at the beginning. So because I know a lot of you guys are new around here, my van was very basic at the beginning. When you can't afford stuff, you start off with what you can afford. That's what I did, and it was seriously, guys, like building a fort. It was an amazing time, but it was during that building my fort phase where I just took whatever I could, stacked it up, and made a fort like a kid. It was during that phase that I really got to know my van, which made for better decisions when I decided to put in permanent structures. Nothing was permanent before. It was bungeed to the wall with a cable. And when I did decide to do something permanent, I went to a furniture store, bought some dressers, and screwed them to the floor with little L brackets. They were still movable. Undo some brackets, I could shift them around if I really wanted to. Didn't want to because then there'd be more holes on my floor. But by doing the little play around, have fun, build a fort process, made things picture perfect when it came to me messaging like John at J5 Custom Vans to build this cabinet. This was the very first piece of built structure that was bolted to my van. So when I messaged John on Vancouver Island, I said, this is what I need. He started to kind of plan it all out, and this came out of it. And it couldn't be any more perfect. And it also made, when it came to me talking to Andy at Happy Camper Kits, which built pretty much everything else in my van besides that cabinet. Andy did the pretty little fronts on it, so it matched his other cabinets. But when it came to messaging him, I knew what I wanted, because I had time to rearrange my fort like 100 times, because it was easy to rearrange my fort because nothing was bolted in. So please, guys, do me a favor, go through that fun fort phase, where you get to build your little own mini castle or dollhouse, whatever you're trying to build inside of your van. Go through that stage. So this is gonna sound crazy because I know we have all different styles of people on my channel. We've got the people with money, we've got the people with no money, and we've got the people in between. So this is gonna be hard to explain. It's easy to explain to one side, but the other side's gonna be like, you want me to what, Chrome? So everybody who's starting van life on a budget, trying to do something better with themselves, trying to pay off their debt and just get out there and live a better life than they have with paying rent. These guys are the ones that are gonna start van life right. They're gonna do it properly the first time. You got it. It's the people that have debt that are gonna have a way better van life than those with money. Wait a minute. Why? Because they're gonna start their van life right. Think back to me. I had no money. I started building my little fort. Because I built a fort, it allowed me to build this hyper-functional, professionally built van after 3 years of just like paying my debt and saving some money. Okay, the reason why I say this is the smarter way to do it. I'm not saying start broke. I'm not saying if you're rich over here, lose all your money and start over there. Not what I'm saying. I'm just saying is that when you're over here, you start off very basic, very simple, which allows you to learn your van space. Which means when the person right here, which was me, the person right here who's just doing the best they can with what they've got, this one is going to start with things that are bungee cabled to the wall. And then what happens is the ultimate camper van at the end. So when you have money, here's what happens on this end. They've got money, they buy their big van, they go down, they get the van fully built out, they get into the van that they just finished sinking 150 grand into, they get into the van and realize, I wish wish the fridge was there. I wish this drawer was a little bit shorter. I kind of wish that this was here or this was there. I shouldn't have put this here. I should have put a different cabinet here. I should have. They built it way too fast. When you build things too fast, you make mistakes. You see, if you start simple with plastic cabinets and bungee cable things to the wall, even if it's for a couple of months, you get to know what you need, where you need inside of your van. If you build your van out before you live in it, guess what happens? You now move into a new place, like you would move into an apartment, a brand new place. When you move into an apartment, it's an empty room. You can still move your furniture around and TV in different places and couch and chair in different places until you figure out the new apartment. But in a van, if you buy a fully converted van or you build it before you actually spend some serious time in it, you're going to be living in an apartment with furniture you cannot move. What now? You've got to rip it all out and restart fresh? Nobody wants that. So, be a kid. Get out here and just build a fort in your van. Trust me, it will be way better in the end when you can build. I love my van. This thing couldn't be any more perfect for my life. My lifestyle, how I use it, how I live in it, how I work in it and work out of it. This thing is perfect because I treated it like a little fort at the beginning. So fun. I don't know, guys. It was just a little story I wanted to share with you guys. Thanks for watching these videos. It's raining, so we're gonna shut those doors and I don't know, maybe watch a little Netflix. I think I got something downloaded on my phone. Okay, guys. See you on the next one.